Hey, welcome to Mystic by Nature. I've decided to do the readings based on the elements because I was trying to do each individual sign and that was not working. Between trying to do daily readings and daily healings and try to make time to record as well as upload, there was not enough hours in the day for me to do that. So I've decided to do the readings on here in elements, and then I'll do maybe like weekend reads, weekend energy reads, and with the week ahead readings. But as far as the elements or the zodiac signs, I will probably do those in groups. So the first group that we have today, I'm actually recording this on pre the new moon in Virgo. It's right night before, so we're already in its energy. But this will be for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Whether these signs are on your ascendant or your sun and moon, this message is meant to find you. This is a check-in and a heads up so you know what to look out for. Before I dive into this reading, let me remind you that these readings are entertainment purposes only. So if you become confused or irritated, this particular reading is probably not for you. If you are a cross watcher, do not try to make the story fit your narrative or make the narrative fit your situation or circumstance. But if it does resonate, hit the like button, hit the bell and subscribe and comment a fire sign or a flame. So you'll be here for the first incoming videos or for the incoming videos that I will be uploading. With that being said, let's take a deep breath. Ground ourselves and let's see what the cards have to say for your next chapter, fire signs. September is a month of action astrologically, especially with the two eclipses being weeks apart. The first one on the 7th will bring in things around spiritual awakenings, increased intuition, and major transformations. So we're dealing with a lot of shifting energy. Aries, you are up first. So first half, this reading will be about the first half of September. So the first half of September, Aries, you will be looking at Saturn in retrograde, and it'll be hitting your 12th house. This lunar eclipse will also be hitting your 12th house that we'll have on the September 7th. So that's your house of hidden fears and spirituality, as well as hidden enemies. And then we have Mercury in Virgo hitting your 6th house of daily routines and your wellness. So this is pushing you to get organized. And then we have the Venus and Mars transit on September 15th. And this will be hitting your 5th house of romance and your 7th house of partnerships and relationships. Okay, so Aries, let's do a 3-card pull. And we'll do clarifications after that to see what the first half of September is bringing you. What's the first half of September bringing my Aries? Okay. Energy that I am picking up on seems to be a lot of 7th house energy. Okay. So the first one that I got, okay, I'll take that because it's underneath the deck. So the first one that I got was the 6 of Cups. And when I look at the 6 of Cups, I see nostalgia. I even see childhood. Somebody may be dealing with someone that they have been dealing with childhood and have decided that they have kind of outgrown them. This may be a person who may have been a little bit emotionally, at first they may have been emotionally available, but now that time has gone, they realize that they are not. And you feel like you have been up and through a battle with them. I got the 4 of Cups underneath the deck, so it may have been a time where you kind of were bending over backwards trying to see if they would be able to maybe shift and change, and they have not. It seems like their heart is closed off. I'm seeing that it might have been a possibility of infidelity that came in. So during this time, you are healing from that. You could even be the one whose heart is closed off, and you are dealing with a 9 of Wands energy. So you are feeling like you survived almost a war in a sense. But you have come to the conclusion that you are kind of ready to end it. I feel like I might be talking to a masculine energy because I had the Death card that came up, and then I have the Queen of Wands that came up right after that. So this may have been you dealing with a feminine energy or someone who was very, because when I think of the Queen of Wands, I know the Queen of Wands is the fire sign. So this could have been someone who was very, very fiery. Picking up an energy or maybe doing things before they really kind of thought about it, or they kind of let their tongue fly off without really thinking about it. It may have been a little bit arrogant and conceited in the way that they moved. It was almost as if, well, you're not going anywhere because you haven't done anything yet. So they feel like they have a sense of power over you or control. So you, and in a sense that at one point in time they probably did have a little bit of control over you, but now that you've grown and you've kind of found out who you are really at the core, things have decided to change. And I got the 8 of Cups energy, so you're deciding to leave. You're deciding to walk away from this relationship because you see that it's not fitting you anymore. Is there anything else that Aries needs to know about the first half? This kind of makes sense too because your 7th house is being activated. And 12th house fears. It's going to be someone who may be having dreams about their significant other having infidelity within the relationship, or bringing infidelity within a relationship, and now they're coming to the realization that it was true, so they're deciding to walk away. With your 7th house and 12th house being kind of hit, this makes a lot of sense. Can you give me more clarification on Aries? Yeah, you're tired of carrying the burden of being tied to someone who does not appreciate your love and does not appreciate you for who you are. They rather keep you in the box instead of seeing you expand and grow. Anything else with Aries rising, Aries sun? Yeah. You were living in that 10 of Swords and 10 of Wands energy, kind of self-sabotaging. Allowing their words to get into your head and keep you stuck, make you continue to feel left out in the cold. Some of you may have been doing it for the sake of the family, but once you start kind of stepping outside of your comfort zone and pouring into yourself, things started to shift and change. All right, I love that for Aries. So the first half of September for Aries, rising, sun, moon, is you pouring into yourself and having some hard realizations that the people that you thought you were around who were good for you, or the relationship that you were in you thought was something that could grow and expand is not, and you're deciding to choose yourself first. All right, I love that. So the next one up is Leo, my lions and lioness. We have Saturn hitting your 8th house of joint finances, intimacy, and debts. Then we have Mercury in Virgo in your 2nd house of money and values. Lunar eclipse in Pisces will also be in your 8th house. And then we have the Venus and Mars transit putting a magnifying glass on your love life. All right, so let's see what the cards are saying for you, Leo, for the first half of September. Okay. For Leo, first half of September. First half of September for Leo. Okay. Last card. Thank you. It's a lot of walking away energy. Okay. So, okay, here we are. So, first card that I got is the 7 of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands. So you may have been having a lot of financial hardship over the last few months, Leo, and not quite sure how to deal with it. I feel like you may have tapped into some of you may have gotten a new job, is what I just heard. Some of you may have gotten a new job, or you just done a lot better about budgeting. And that's allowed you, I got the Sun card, to kind of put things to rest when it comes to your finances. You're no longer like stressed about it. You finally have things kind of balanced out. I'm going to ask for clarification on that, though. Can you give me the death card? Clarify the death card for me. Yeah, you had a lot of anxiety, but now that's coming to an end. Coming to an end. Some of you may be, you had to figure out how to budget because you're saving, trying to get ready to go on a trip, or you're thinking about taking a trip with someone. The next cards that came out were the King of Pentacles, so this could be you taking a trip with a Earth sign man. Or Earth sign individual is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And so you are budgeting and trying to be a little bit more organized and structured when it comes to your finances. Paying the extra bills kind of ahead of time that you can pay, so that you can have the finances that you want going onto this trip. And for others, you're starting to learn that even though money makes you comfortable physically, it's not everything. It's not everything. And for some of you, this could be getting into a relationship with the King of Pentacles. And I see a conversation about finances coming up. This might be a person who makes a lot of money. I'm looking at the Two of Wands card, so it might be maybe you two coming together up on maybe a business idea, but it's going to not only help you expand and explore, you're also going to be like spiritually elevated. This might be a situation where you have a lot of spiritual knowledge and he has a lot of financial knowledge. All right, this is the person who might elevate you to the next level. There'll be no more struggling or looking at your money. I feel like right now your money is pretty stable though. But you were having a lot of anxiety around it the last couple months. And right now that's starting to ease out. Anything else? Anything else for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising? Yeah, see, I got a creative idea that's coming in. So maybe you guys are getting ready to link up. This might be some of you starting to create a family with this person. Or this might be you guys, I heard this might be someone you met through family. Particularly a grandparent, possibly. But either way, I see a lot of expansion for you in the first half of September. Whether it's through conversation or whether it's financially. Can you clarify for me what the Eight of Cups is, please, for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising? What is the Eight of Cups? Okay. What is the Eight of Cups? Yeah, you're moving into a better space, a better mindset. A little bit, there's been a bit of a paradigm shift when it comes to your mental state. You're no longer feeling like you aren't worthy because of your financial status. There's something about this person like really spoiling you. So some of you Leo risings, Leo sun moons out there, you might be getting a little spoiled by a little Capricorn or a Virgo or a Taurus. But you're going to be sitting in a very comfortable spot. It's particularly by fall time, which is we're kind of entering into now, but you're going to be feeling still in the Nine of Cups. Be able to look at a lot of options. I see some of you moving somewhere where it might be mountains, or this person moving towards you. But I see some financial blessings coming in with the Ace of Pentacles sitting underneath the deck. Okay, so for the first half of September, Leos, I see financial blessings. I see a mental shift when it comes around finances and your worth. I see some healing around your intimacy and around your resources. Of course, I see a new love coming in. If there isn't a new love, this is maybe a new love of self. Are you finally feeling like your heart is open enough to let some love in? Okay, so now we have Sagittarius, our lucky Sag. First half of September is bringing in retrograde into your fourth house of family, home, and roots. This lunar eclipse in Pisces will also be hitting your fourth house of family, home, and roots. And then we have Mercury and Virgo hitting your 10th house, which will be sharpening up your career plans. And the Venus-Mars transits hitting your 9th house of spirituality and higher learning and 11th house of friends and networking. Some of you guys may find that romance budding possibly through traveling or group activities. I see a couple people going through a retreat maybe and meeting someone. Okay. Can you tell me what Sagittarius can expect for the first half of September? First half of September. For Sagittarius, rising and sun, moon. What does Sagittarius expect? Okay. Okay. So we're starting out the month. Or probably I would say this is the current time. It might be some self-sabotaging thoughts that are kind of coming in. Or even a family betrayal is what I just heard. There might be some family beliefs that you are not releasing yourself from because you realize that they are not something that is good for you to continue on through or carrying on like it's a tradition. It's trauma. So you're allowing yourself to release it. You no longer want to be tied to it. I feel like you might be like the black sheep, so you're deciding to heal the family line by moving away from the negative thought around how life is supposed to be or what your career is supposed to look like. I see a little negative idea about what success is, which you Sagittarius, rising the sun and moon. I feel like maybe with the family, I'm seeing a lot of money issues and family issues coming up. But with the family, it may be like a certain amount of money that equate with success. And with you, your mind is kind of shifted. You realize that success money does not equate to success, nor does it equate to happiness. And you're just okay with being comfortable. Or this could be you kind of self-sabotaging and being betrayed by family because you overextend and overhelp, and now you are putting a stop to it and you're not allowing yourself to be pulled in the different directions and helping every cousin Pete that opens their hands and asks for money. Okay. What is the Knight of Pentacles? What is the Knight of Pentacles? Yeah, because at some point you were kind of in a bad space. You had some anxiety. You were struggling because you were giving out so much money. Your own bills and your own household was suffering. And now that you finally got yourself stable, you was like, I'm not putting myself back in that position. I'm not gonna be over here eating oodles and noodles, and because I'm helping family members and they over there eating steak. Like, that's not gonna work. I'm no longer going to sacrifice myself for the sake of the family. So now that you have moved away from your family, you see things that are kind of stabilizing. This could also be maybe a relationship coming in for you guys, Sagittarius, rising, sun, and moon. This could be a divine counterpart that is making their way to you now that you have healed your wounds around money, healed that poverty mindset, and healed the wounds around betrayal. I feel like you may have dealt with a lot of betrayal when it came to your past relationships, romantic relationships, even platonic and friendships. There may have been an ex in the past, because if you see, look at this card, you see this person in the way back with their head down with a lot of regret. So there may be an ex that is kind of looming around that has tried to come back to you multiple times, and you're ready to let it go. You're like, I'm not going to go back down that road with you. I'm not going to return back to something that made me question who I was because of your insecurities. You're not allowing that. Can you give me some more clarity, insight for Sagittarius rising and sun? Yeah, this, okay. You might be dealing with another fellow fire sign that had you really depressed and out, down and out. I feel like there might have been somebody waiting in the shadows that wanted to have a relationship with you, but you were so stuck on the ex and the betrayal and so heartbroken that you couldn't see this person. This person may have been around in your life for a long time. You're just now realizing that they are a counterpart. But after going into hermit mode and healing those different wounds, emotional wounds, family wounds, you got in touch with your emotions. And now you're sitting in the Empress energy, whether you're a masculine or feminine physically. You are sitting in the Empress energy. You know your worth. You know your value. And you're not allowing other people to hold back. Can you give me more, hold you back? Can you give me more clarity on the Five of Swords? Last card. Yeah, some of you, this might be a move. And for some of you, this might be actually your ancestors. Oh, Sagittarius coming out in their own reading. It still might be ancestors that are guiding this connection. Moving you away from the toxicity. But some of you, this could be moving period. I heard New York, New York, New York. But you gotta get your money right, get a little bit more structured and organized so that you can make this move. And you will. Some of you might be moving as early as 4 months. Or some of you moving actually in Sagittarius season. Then I have some of you who will be moving in Leo season next year. Okay, so that is it for Sagittarius. That is it for the fire signs. If this message resonated, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you feel called to share it with fellow fire signs, this is your reminder to do so. I leave this affirmation with you. I trust the timing of life and embrace each moment with joy. Until next time, fire signs, peace, love, and blessings.